Hey, entrepreneurs. We're here for another session of Ask Fred, one of my favorites, because I get to put Cary, CEO of IdeaPros, on the spot and make him answer as many questions as we can squeeze into a half hour or less, usually about 20 minutes. So I have a list of questions that have been submitted. But if you would like to submit a question, you can type it in the chat. So this is about entrepreneurial questions that you have, life questions, advice from Fred. And Fred, I have to say, I love your headset because I remember when you used to tease me about mine.
Well, the only reason I have my headset on is you made me do it. So I'm not
we
going to
were
let you get away with that one.
we were getting an echo, but I love that Fred's actually been doing podcasts. He has a whole gear now, and so you've been on quite a few podcasts lately.
Yeah, I've been a guest on probably, I don't know, about 15, 20 of them so far. A few every week. And
Awesome.
Lola's
Oh,
joining us too today.
there's Lola. Well, and she's, I think that that's the cool part about you, Fred, is it's not just about the business side. You have a life, you have dogs, you have, life going on around you. So our questions today don't always have to do just with the entrepreneur side. And in fact, I guess, Fred, from that perspective of it being a whole person, I know you say that better person. You tell this in the perfect way. So how do you describe it for you to be a better entrepreneur?
Well, to be a better entrepreneur, you have to start by being better at home. You know, it. Um, my argument is you can't start building and leading a great company unless you can end up becoming a great leader. And you can't be a great leader unless you're a good person at home. You know, that's where it all starts. How do you treat your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your kids, your dog, your parents, the neighbors? That's where it all begins. And so that's why on my Instagram page, I really focus on that personal development part of it. I do talk about entrepreneurship too, but I'm trying to get people to align their passion, their purpose with the work that they're trying to do. And if you can do that, then you're going to have a much better life. And then your work life balance is going to all melt into one thing, a big, beautiful painting on your wall, instead of my work is over here, my life is over there.
I think that's the secret. I've tried to do it very separate for a long time. And since I've started to work with you, Fred, I know I've blended them more.
Yeah.
So we have some questions that will go across those lines. The first one, well, it goes along with that. So how can entrepreneurs help good people? It's an interesting question for sure. We're going to start out that way.
Yeah. Um, that is a good question because it's a little bit vague, but what it points to is that maybe there's another purpose besides just making money, besides growing your business. If you can have that purpose of helping those that you serve, then you'll be even better as a company. And so how can a company do that? Align yourself with some cause. Align yourself. I was just talking to one of our entrepreneurs just a couple of days ago. They were talking about buy one and we'll give one away, like they do with that one shoe company. I said, no, let's make it buy four and give one away, whatever. But you can align yourself. If you have a clothing store, you can align yourself by taking the clothes that don't fit right or the returns or whatever, and start giving them to homeless and things like that, and make that part of your business, that there is a giving back in what you do. You can also do things that are altruistic and help good people in different ways. Even an IdeaPros, if you go to our blog, if you go to my Instagram page, if you go to our page here, we're giving away a lot of stuff for free, right? We're giving away our time, we're giving away our expertise, we're giving advice, and it's all free. So we're giving to good people. Now, some of you are our partners and work with us, but some of you aren't. And anyone's invited to come in here and get a little bit of knowledge to help them out in their own lives. So find something that makes sense for the business that you're in and make giving back a key part of it.
I love there was an entrepreneur group that actually gives in other countries to help people start businesses as well. And I know you've done that too. So it could be anything that you're passionate about, doesn't have to relate to your product. We have a couple people, I know Jared usually watches us, and he wants to help feed everyone across the world with his products that's coming out. So just find your passion and then align with it. So that's great. I love that answer. I did not see that one coming, actually, the way that you answered it. So we have somebody, Timothy, who needs to build an expensive prototype. Basically, he's going to be doing a big presentation, so National Basketball Association, but his prototype is very expensive. Do you have any suggestions on how to find those specialty investors that can help with a prototype?
Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned with the first part of that, not even finding investors, but the first part of going to the NBA right away when you're at not even at a prototype stage. You don't want to be doing something way too early. And I don't know. What you should probably do? You should probably write to marketing at IdeaPros with more. No. I'm not shying away from this. I'm saying with more details, I can help guide you better. But generally, I would not be building a very expensive prototype for one potential customer. When you're dealing with organizations like the NBA, the NFL, any of those big organizations, there are a whole bunch of owners that all get to give their opinion on whether something happens or whether something doesn't happen. So let's suppose, against what I believe is likely, you go there, it's a, pardon the expression, slam dunk, and they love you. Now they're going to have to go to all the different team owners, get buy-in approval. If it's something to do with equipment or something like that, then that could take a year. And so now you've spent all this money on a really expensive prototype to serve one master, and you may not see a return on it. So the best way, if you insist on going down that road, the best way is to get not investor money, but money, second mortgage on your home, sell that extra motorcycle that you had in the garage for the last 5 years that your wife hates you for. Go try to get an SBA loan from your regular business, but having an investor that's going to come and pay you for a prototype, unless you have this blazing letter from the NBA saying, show it and work, and we're going to buy $10 million worth of it. Unless you have something like that, you're probably unlikely to get a professional investor.
And we do have a lot of articles on how to get that funding from family, how to do pitch decks, and we have a ton in our blog. So ideapros.com/blog if you want to go check it out and see ways to raise those funds, alternative ways, even the angel network, a way to get additional funds as well. So perfect. Well, thank you, Fred, for that. And the next question, and guys, again, if you want to ask a question, I am happy to bring it up at the end. So you can put your question in. And Swizzy, retype your web address and I'll put it on the screen for us. I think we have an extra letter in there. I don't want people going to the wrong place. So this question is from Tally, who's one of our partners. What is your favorite part about being an entrepreneur, and what are the biggest challenges? So it's kind of a two-part. So
yeah, well, my favorite part is that I'm not really working for anybody else. That we have an entrepreneurial team, an entrepreneurial spirit. We're all marching down the same road, trying to accomplish the same goals, and it's invigorating. The biggest challenge is that we're trying to do that for 400 people in this particular case. So I'm going to skip through that part of it right away, because that's kind of lunacy in a way, because if you have a startup, there are fires every day with your one startup. When you have 300, 400 startups, there's fires every 10 minutes. And you have happy people, sad people, mad people, all on the same day. In fact, maybe 5 minutes apart from each other. So that's incredibly hard, and in some cases, something that would not recommend for anybody else to do. But a regular entrepreneur with one business, the hardest part is that success is not a linear path, that you have to face a lot of failure, and you get some success and then you get a failure, then you get more success and then you get a failure. And that's just the way, think about it, you're building something that doesn't exist. So the chances of you getting everything right the first time around are very minimal. And so embracing failure, embracing obstacles, being okay with time delays, being okay with prototypes that come back that aren't working the way they're supposed to, being okay with all the bad stuff that can happen, can make the bad things about entrepreneurship tolerable. Otherwise, you'll kill yourself over it.
Very good. I agree. Now, what you got the biggest, I guess, you got your favorite part about being an entrepreneur and the challenges, but is there anything that you think within the last, I don't know, because it's been about 5 years, that you really enjoyed about your being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, really helping people try to change their lives. And fundamentally, you have to change your own life. But with IdeaPros, we're providing a vehicle to at least assist in that regard and to bring expertise to the subject so that you can move from where you are to where you want to be. Again, it's a long, bumpy road, but there's a whole lot of our partners that have launched or are just launching, probably 100 of them altogether, that are on to the next phase of their life, and we feel at least partially responsible. So that brings a lot of joy.
Oh, I love it. My favorite thing is having an actual partner's product in my hand, or an app that I'm using. I mean, it's flat out my favorite. I get so excited. I literally have a partner product here, and
Let's see.
I don't know. I am so excited. You can actually order it online. I mean, it's beautiful. And I'm gonna repackage it so I can do another video too. But it is the cutest little package. This is Bingo, and it is I love this product. It is a training collar for a dog where the dog is disciplining itself. So if the dog pulls on the leash, it actually gives a little vibration, not a shock or TINS unit type thing, but just a little vibration to let them know. But you don't feel like the bad guy that's pulling, pushing the button and reprimanding or yanking the leash. So this is actually for sale. I was the first purchase. I was the first one to do the reservation, and I was the first person to do a full order because I was setting up the website. But it's so much fun to have it in my hand. I haven't put it on my dog yet, but this is just huge. It's like real. I mean, we have so many products that have come to market too, and I have Pocket Rocket I need to do an unboxing for too. But this is just my favorite part, is seeing things come to life, that you guys had passion and dreams, and it's real.
Yeah, that's nice. I noticed you didn't order any for me. I have 3 dogs here.
I figured you might be, what, here, you all should go order one, bingotugless.com. But I will let you know, I'm actually doing a case study this weekend on how good it is, because I have the worst dogs on the leash, the worst. One has been through training and she's much better. She's used to a collar. So one, I'll get to see how it is with, a dog that's been trained with a full collar, and another who has never been trained at all. So bingotugless.com, you can go order yours right now. And if you were on the ones who got, move too. If you were one of the ones who put a $1 reservation down, go get it, because you get the discounted rate. You put a reservation dollar down and you get the special price, because it is awesome. But that's not all. There's, seeing all these partners with apps, and I actually get to download the app on my phone, and it's so much fun.
Well, you'll have to give us a report next week.
You'll have a whole video.
Good.
So another question for you. This is an interesting one. So Mary asks, is it possible to build a safe app that hackers can't hack?
No.
I was going to say, they're going to hack everything.
Yeah. Look, there are, in fact, we built one. There are apps like even WhatsApp or Signal that is designed to have communication that's scrambled and encrypted, and only the 2 people on either end of it should be able to see it. but even in that, we've had some people break into WhatsApp of people that we know, and that happens mostly not because they're defeating the app itself, but they're defeating you and your
Mhm.
own
Your
security and
own.
your name and your password. And so when you get somebody into an app that does something bad for one person, it's usually because they got in there by stealing that username and password, or figuring it out because you have a dog named Fluffy and they tried your Fluffy123 password, and lo and behold, it worked. But actually going in and compromising an entire system, that's much harder to do. And if you have money like Apple, then you can start working on having it completely safe. But you're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars, and for general purposes, most apps are safe and not easily hacked.
I think we do have amazing developers. So they're thinking about these things. They always are trying to stay ahead of the people and what they're trying to scam. But like you said, it's normally human error that gets hacking, happens in phishing. And when it says click here or download
Right.
here and you decide to do it, it's not usually in the app. It's actually password reveal. And I love Michael P. Ryan, he wrote bingo 1 2 3 4. Yes, exactly. Like that's true. So true. So I mean, you can just do the best that you can. And also, I think right now with GDPR compliance, like know what is GDPR compliant, what is sharing data, and just know your developers, know the people that you're working with, and that you're not just blanket trusting everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's a good question, though, Mary. I know you're in the process of developing your app, so I hope you're taking that into consideration. I love having scrambled passwords, so never use the same password. Use app like a hard one, and use a storage program, and then just don't let that one password get out. So, but let's see. Kevin asked, does Fred have any particular product he admires or that was inspirational to him?
You know, the thing that really I admired the most was LASIK surgery, which is not
Mm-hmm.
really a product, but just the ability to go in there. And it's been a while now, but when I first heard about that, the ability to go in there and just barely slice something off the front of your eye and let people see normally again, to me, that was something that I still can't get over. How much precision has to be there, and how focused everything has to be to make you focused. So that's that's one that really impressed me. Some of the Tesla and how fast the Tesla is, that has really impressed me. Although I don't know that I would ever own one yet because of all the difficulties and the range and how many places there are to go get refueled. I had my godson here a few weeks ago, and we had a cord going out from our kitchen the entire time his car was there for the whole weekend, and he got about half a charge because we don't have a regular charging station. So the principle of what can be done with electric cars here in the near future, that's really impressive to me.
I love it. I agree with you on the LASIK. It was the most amazing thing that I've ever had done in my life. Scariest, but most amazing too.
It is scary. You're sitting there, you feel like you're in A Clockwork Orange. You've seen that movie. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So I agree. And that's interesting. Well, we have a couple more questions and then we got some in the chat. So I'm going to pop over there. So
Okay.
I know we have from Phil. Phil A asks, I'm an idea guy, but not an entrepreneur. Many inventions on paper, but doesn't have the desire to protect, design, finance, develop, promote, none of it. Is there any non-entrepreneur, where do non-entrepreneur inventors go?
They go to heaven. Uh, but only if they don't deal with these companies. There are companies out there that are looking for people like you. I'm not going to name them, but you see them at 2 o'clock at night, just making all these claims about how they're going to get you a patent and a licensing deal. It's going to cost you a few $100s. those things never work. In fact, there's actually laws for those. They're invention promotion companies, they're called, and I think that they have to post their success rate, and the success rate is measured on basically, did you get more back than what you paid? And this company's been doing it for 20 some years, I think, and their success rate was something like 0.00125%. So if you're an inventor, um, make it a hobby and enjoy what you can do in the garage, the tinkering you can do. But if you don't have any desire to try to protect it, to try to sell it, try to license it, try to make it and be the CEO of your company, there's not much you can do. The one step up you could get to would be that if you have something that you think is really revolutionary, you'd really need to research it first. And by the way, for you that are not uh, people who are already partners, we have this package. It's like $1,000, and
Mm-hmm.
and I know you probably don't even want to spend that, but with that package, it will take what your idea is and do complete global analysis of it, the market opportunity, the potential market size, who any competitors might be, who the target customer should be, and then helping you put together a pitch deck to go out and present that to others. That's what I would do if I was an inventor and I thought I was making really cool stuff that could really make a difference. The worst thing you can do is run out and get a patent right away, because with a patent, you don't know whether what you invented can really be produced. You can get a patent because it's all pencil and paper, but when you get it over to engineering, and engineering says this is impossible to make, or they say it's okay to make, and you go to manufacturing and manufacturing says, yeah, we can make this, but it's going to cost a fortune, nobody's going to pay for it. So you do all your other stuff first to see, is there a market opportunity, what could I sell this for? And then you start dealing with a local engineer and trying to get some numbers so you get a rough idea of what it is. And if those things all sound good, then you can go get a patent, and then you can go try to get a licensing deal with some of the legitimate licensing companies out there. But it's a lot better being an entrepreneur, finding capital, rolling up your sleeves, and building all this stuff out yourself. So now you're not selling an idea, you're selling that product that you're really proud of.
Actually, one of our questions was the how do you get the lowest price for a patent? And I don't know if you want the lowest price for a patent.
Well,
You get what you pay for, kind of
it's like low price brain surgery. No, you actually, I historically have paid 20, 25 grand for patents all the time. And when we started IdeaPros, one of the things that we wanted to do is find people that would work with us and really and be responsible, was talented, and get a price point that was way down. And somewhere between $3,500 and $4,000, we get a lot of our patents done. So you just have to search around, find somebody who's really good in the business, somebody who's a patent attorney is my preference. We did have somebody that was a
thing.
patent professional, not an attorney, and she disappeared in the middle of the night with about six of our partners' projects. So, um, yeah, it's a stretch. But don't listen. Let me back up. 97%. That's how many patents there are that never got made.
Mm.
97% of all the patents that have ever been filed and granted have never been made. So don't look at, wow, I got a patent as the measure of success. Go find a market, go find an audience, go find people that really want this thing, and then you can get a patent in support of the business that you have. And even
Mhm.
that's not foolproof. Ira, one of the executives in our company, he developed a product, patented a product, got it so it was being sold in Best Buy all over the country, and he got a major company that he had a non-disclosure agreement with completely rip him off. His product is in black, theirs is in white. They're exactly the same size, they look exactly the same. Even the fold out materials that talk about how to operate this product are identical, word for word,
No.
comma for comma. And so now he has to fight them. So the patent's not going to protect you as much as you think it's going to.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I think we covered all of our main questions. I don't think I have any new. Well, I have a couple in the chat, so I'm going to
Mhm.
hop over there. I know we have a lot that we had questions. So Mark asks, how can that's about Fallout particularly. He wants a prototype for Fallout. So Fallout for Support is Mark's website, and he's actually working on getting a prototype. So Mark, we'll talk to you later. But if you are looking to get a prototype, obviously you talk to our team if you need it for your product.
Yeah, of
So,
course. Yeah.
right. Oh, Sean has a great question now. Sean Reed with Sage Scheduler. How profitable are apps and what does it cost to run an app? So that's a variable, obviously.
A lot of apps are really profitable from the investors that invest in them. Apps like Uber, for example,
Mhm.
you've heard of Uber. They still don't make money. They lose hundreds of millions of dollars a year as they grow. Now, some of that is tax sheltering, but a lot of it is how expensive it is. But all the chief executive and the founders, they're all billionaires. So an app in and of itself doesn't necessarily have to make money, but that's kind of a vague thing. So if you're building an app that you think is going to be a moderate size app, and not try to be this unicorn that's going to compete against the likes of the Ubers of the world, you can start making money, maybe a year or so into it, because you're in most cases an app isn't going to have any great value unless you have enough downloads and people who are actively using it. So when you're building an app, when you release an app, the very first thing that a first time entrepreneur wants to do is start making money immediately. You need to build the audience first, and then you start doing it. Now, how do you do that? In fact, one of the other people that is here today that asked the question, we had that same discussion. You have different levels of service, and you build your. So don't put everything that you can possibly think of in your app on day one. So you have a level of service that's free, and then 6 months in, a year in, when you have a really big audience, then you can start introducing enhanced features so that, hey, this app is free, it's always going to be free, but if you want to have these other things, if more storage, more pictures, more connections, whatever your app happens to do, then it's $3.99 a month. Or if you want to have a premium app that does all these other things, then maybe it's $5.99 a month, right? And those numbers I'm just making up here, but you make money over time with an app, and then how much you can make depends on how big of your audience, how big your audience is, and on top of that, how many of them turn over into a premium uh, membership rather than a free membership. You can also use advertisement too on apps. I know if you have Instagram, for example, there are a lot of ads that pop up in your stream on Instagram. It looks like somebody else's feed, and you'll see them in your story. When you're looking at stories, you'll see them in the reels, you'll see them in posts, and those are ads that they make billions of dollars on every single year. You're muted. Still muted.
I haven't gotten my silent keyboard yet, so I keep trying to mute it. Well,
Okay.
I was just looking at some of the numbers, and in 2022, some of the top grossing apps, like you guys know TikTok, 1.7 billion something plus, Roadblocks, 1 billion. I mean, a lot of these YouTube's at 0.89 billion. I mean, it's just Candy Crush. These are all ones that are making money. Now, I do see kind of a consistent, they're fun. So, but there are some, Coin Master. I mean, I think that there's a lot of room still for apps to make a lot of money that isn't just ads, thankfully.
Yeah.
Awesome. All
Although
right.
although TikTok made that 1.7 billion in just ads.
Yeah, probably. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we've covered all the questions today. A lot of people said that we've answered all the questions, which I don't think is possible. And Fred's like, oh, we're done with the show. So you guys have to have questions that we haven't covered at some time or another. So please put them in the chat. Otherwise, you guys are just going to be like, oh, Fred's like, we're done. We don't need to do any more. So we will keep rehashing. If there's any topics that you guys want us to go over that we haven't covered lately, I know we've covered all kinds of topics. So fundraising, some how to do marketing for your business, all of those. Let us know in the chat. But I'll let you go, Fred, because I don't have any other questions. But I do want to say that we have Katie mentioned that IdeaPros will train and make you into an entrepreneur. Absolutely, that's what we do best. We make you become the owner of your project. Okay, you're gonna do it.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. So I'm not leaving, guys. You're still here with me. I just want to take a couple seconds to shout out to some of our partners. We have Aziza, who has Raw Beauty Co. 50% off the collection holiday sale. Go get it. I love this product. It's amazing. I am like almost out, so I might have to buy right now, Aziza. And we also have, Hector, good to see you. TGIF, I love having you here, Hector. I know you're one of our huge supporters for IdeaPros and a huge hard worker at IdeaPros, no less. Vanessa over at Gets Wizzy. This product is launching very soon. And I think we actually need to get you on to do a pitch. We actually have a pitch competition coming up for our partners we have an amazing personality that's going to be helping and guiding partners on their pitches. So that'll be fun. You should send over your pitch deck to me so that I can get that up. Speaking of pitches, if you haven't already recorded a pitch, and this doesn't have to go just for our IdeaPros partners, anyone can submit a pitch. So if you want to send a video to us of your pitch that you want to have to get into one of those to be evaluated and to also have your pitch on one of our Friday lives or get a shout out, send that over to Tessa at IdeaPros.com or DM me and I will get you the information that you need. So again, Stage Scheduler, if you haven't, go check out the app. I know, Sean, I missed this question, about having your app reviewed by customers. So I just went through a huge training on how to do a product and app launch. So both sides. And they talked a lot about getting your product into the hands of other people before you even launch. Make sure that you have reviews. Now, I'm guessing that, Sean, you're talking about having it tested. And that's a little bit different. But there is something I wanted to mention about reviews. And that's if you are getting products like Vanessa, you're going to have a quantity in hand soon of Zwizzy. So get it in the hand of influencers and get reviews early. So it's a huge focus was put almost 3 months worth of getting reviews, getting feedback, so that when you hit the market and launch, you're not having that bad feedback that's coming in. So you've thoroughly tested it. So highly recommend that. And if you have any questions about that launch cycle, guys, let me know in the chat for a product or app launch. Just say product launch, app launch. I will get you guys this cool little chart that we put together that shows how that can work, because it is all about prepping yourself, having the marketing materials there, having the reviews, having influencers, having this impact on your first launch date. Now, that we consider that also a soft launch. So if you've heard me say a soft launch, that's what that is. But apps, you're going to have beta testers. They're going to thoroughly go through all of the app too with you, for you. That's the benefit, because you can never see everything when you create it. I promise. You're going to miss something totally that you misspelled or that you didn't realize that people were going to do something a certain way. But I did see that. I think it was you, Michael, that said you just had it reviewed and you thought that IdeaPros had done a great job. And I lost the comment, of course. Well, there's so many more comments in here than I saw before. I will get those. I'm going to go through these as fast as possible, guys. But I saw Odin over there. Thank you for all of your comments. I know you had a bunch and they all just disappeared from my screen. So I can't put him up. But Odin's he's wonderful at marketing and helping you kind of get settled in your business. Oh, I see. What? Nope, it's just completely gone. Beta testing can be fun, says Kyle, though. I have those new comments. I just lost all of my old comments. Oh, I like that. Okay, Kathy, you asked about free marketing ideas. Oh, yes. What do you recommend for free marketing ideas? We have an amazing 101 marketing tactics that you can use in your business, and a lot of them are free, so they don't require you to do anything but some hard work, elbow grease, and get in there and start networking and connecting with people. If you want the 101 marketing strategies, just put 101 into the chat and I will get those over to you. So just 101, and I'll get all of the marketing strategies. We actually just did, we are in the process of updating those even as well. So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with us on every Friday at noon Pacific time. We come live so you can interact with us. We also have all of these replays over on our IdeaPros blog. Yes, no problem. I'll get that over to you, Kathy. It's got lots of great information in it. And if you ever have any questions, submit them on any of our posts, any show posts. We always go back through and find those questions. But there's also in this post, if you haven't already done it and you're new to IdeaPros, there is a link to get reminders when we go live. Not everyone gets a reminder. We found that not everybody wants to know about us going live. So if you do want to get reminders, you can hit the bell before you leave today to get notifications, or you can click the link in the post and request for it to come to cell phone, which is my favorite because I will always forget if it doesn't end up on my cell phone. We'll text you right before we go live. And we also give you heads up when we're doing these Ask Fred ones, so you can submit a question. So you can get reminders, and you can also submit a question right in the chat section. There's a question form, just like how people submitted for today. And so we are going to compile the pitches. Make sure you send those over. And we will be up for this month. I'm going to be up for all of our Fridays. We'll have a compilation of entrepreneurial advice at the end of the month. So if you'd like to submit any advice that you have for entrepreneurs, you do not have to be a partner to be on that show. And we just take your video clip and kind of mix them all in and make it a hugely valuable year-end show. So feel free to send a video, and just a wide width video is perfect because we go on these channels that have wide. So awesome. And Kathy, I'll follow up with you for sure. And I'll give you some advice and input. And you should check out Move to CEO too. MoveToCEO.com. It's for lady entrepreneurs. MoveToCEO.com. Check that out as well. And I think I spelled Bingo Tugless wrong because I was trying to go too fast. So Bingo Tugless only has one G. If you haven't checked it out, that's this product I'm super excited about. I'm going to go use it on my dogs this weekend. And just adorable packaging. But this is what we do at IdeaPros, is help people come bring their products and apps to life. So excited. Awesome. Well, Sean, thanks for being here. Thank you. It's good to see you guys. And we will be back next Friday, noon Pacific time. Have a good one. Have a blessed week, guys. Bye.